left to specify.
Sacred code is supernatural and cosmic. It bridges starseed origins, galactic contact, and remembrance. DNA activation, soul memory, psychic development, intuition, timeline shifting, and manifestation. Ancient wisdom, modern consciousness, and real world embodiment. It's where the supernatural becomes natural again. It's not fantasy, not an escape, but as a powerful tool to be used, as a powerful truth to be understood. The reason you are called here is not because you're here to follow, you're here to remember who you are. Your soul carries a code. This space simply helps you unlock them safely, clearly, and powerfully. You're not broken, and you're not late. You're not imagining it, you're remembering. Welcome to the Sacred Code.
Can you feel it? The sudden prickle on the back of your neck when you're alone in nature? Or the unshakable sense that the world you see with your physical eyes is only a thin veil over something much larger? You're not imagining it. The shift is here. The energy of our planet is vibrating at a level we haven't seen in eons. For some, it feels like anxiety, and for others, it's a deep, soulful longing for a home that they can't quite place. But for those who are tuned in, it's a call to action. On August 15th, 2026, that call leads to a single sacred location. Historical Charlton Park in Hastings, Michigan. This is where Ascension Con 2026 becomes the epicenter of a movement. This isn't just a conference. It is a convergence of realities. Hi, everyone. How you doing?
Hi, Mary, Dana, Deb. Good to see you all.
Yeah, good to see you.
Ooh. That intro gave me goosebumps. I'm so excited. So ready.
Me too. Everything's amping up. And I think, it hit me that I'm almost less than 2 months away.
Yep. Yeah.
And there's a whole lot to do, but there's a whole lot of excitement to it too, because we have so much that's going on with different things. Ascension Con really is all about the layers of ascension, and it's the way it's kind of set up. The initial layer are all the speakers. We have lots of speakers. Deb Cobble is one of them, and I don't have the list in front of me, so if I miss somebody right off the top of my head, please forgive me. We have Heather Taddy, Dustin Perry, Ronnie LeBlanc, the She Squatchers, Jason Kenzie, Dana, Deb, RJ, Deb too. Those ones are easy. We have Brian Danhausen. We have Jamelia. She's going to be the MC. And we had Dale Quigley and photographs. I hope I didn't forget anybody. That's at just off the top of my head. But we have Deb too here. It is. It's a huge lineup, and it's important because it's a mixture of all of the super. I guess that way it's merging the paranormal, the Bigfoot, and the spirituality. And the speakers are going to blow the minds of the people who they are there, but they're also going to bring the shift because they're experiencers in whatever field they're talking about. They have the information and the intel and the ideas of where to go next. For the people who are just beginning, the people who have no idea what they want to be into, and for the people who want to explore deeper. So, Deb, do you know, Deb, too, what you're going to be talking about at all?
I got a kind of an idea. I've been rolling it around. I start rolling my talks around in my head, a few months beforehand. I don't do it too early. So I want to stay fresh and leave open space for something else that might come up, because the universe always has things that it wants me to do when I go somewhere, and it sends me where I need to be, whether I want to be there or not. Not that I would want to be here, but for like going to contact in the desert, I had no plans of that, but the universe had other plans. And I understand why now that I've been there. But when I come to see you guys, I'm obviously gonna share about my UFO, the part of my life, the UFO part of my life, because that's part of why I made it to this point in the first place. And so I'll probably share some, my June 30, 83 experience because that was 43 years ago. A lot of people don't know about that, or even Bud Hopkins anymore. And they should know about Bud. But I'm also going to share some of my paranormal stuff, how I've gotten into that, and how I've integrated it all into my life and into who I am, and how I've learned to grow out of it, through it. I compare myself like a seed in a bucket of dirt, and I've sprouted and I'm growing out of it. And I want to show people that. I want people who've had the experiences I've had, both paranormal and UFO related, to understand that they don't have anything to be afraid of, and that they can not only come through this, they can come through it a way better human than they started out. And that's what I'm going to try and share with people when I talk. So it's like paranormal, UFO, even some consciousness, spirituality stuff, It's a big mixed bag.
So what do you think is like the biggest similarities between your paranormal experiences and, extraterrestrial experiences?
Well, they both require a certain degree of faith in yourself and what you see, and believing in yourself and your own eyes, and being open to it. I think you have to be open to any of it for you to be able to see it or experience it. That's where similarities arise. As an investigator, I always felt the only similarity I could see for the longest time, the only common denominator was the actual person who was having the experience. So it points back to, your own self, your own consciousness and awareness.
Nice. Amen. Amen. Well, it's funny because RJ and Mary and I were on with Dale Quigley the other night talking about the new movie coming out, Disclosure Day. And somehow it came up, I don't remember exactly how, about there's so many people on this planet who we just know have had experiences but don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
Or they just poo-pooed it off,
Including possibly,
there's a lot.
Steven Spielberg himself says, well, I've never been visited.
I don't know about that.
I think he's literally been visited and talked to him.
People you get interested in subjects, and you get obsessed with subjects. Like I'd almost say for Bud Hopkins, for instance, I used to say to him all the time, are you sure you didn't have, you weren't abducted, or you didn't have a close contact? And he's like, no. I just saw a light saw a light in the sky back in 65 with some friends on the Cape. And I'm like, well, I know a lot of people who've seen lights in the sky that weren't like doing what you do now. There's a reason why nothing happens without a reason,
Right.
So whether you remember it or not, I always say everybody's got a story. Either you don't remember it, or you're just lying to yourself. But I mean, for every person out there like me, and there are hundreds of thousands of people out there like me talking publicly and telling their story, there's probably 5 to 10 times as many who's got a story that's maybe crazier than mine that isn't going to ever tell it. At least not right now. They're not comfortable with it. And I'm hoping that they see people like me and they feel more comfortable telling their story.
Right.
And I think that's the point is, just somebody's little piece of that story might just be enough of somebody needs to start asking the questions to get the answers to sort out their life, because there's so many people, who haven't had those experiences that don't understand them, and it destroys them.
And we are all a piece of the big puzzle. Each and every one of us is an individual, but important. The puzzle can't be complete without us.
Right.
All of us.
Well, I can tell you that the person that I had experience with back in '75, when I talked about this, our sighting and our whole missing time thing, he eventually poo-hooed it off as swamp gas because he didn't want to deal with it. He didn't want to. He wanted a rational explanation, and he's going to take that to his grave. But a lot of people do that. They just want a rational because they can't grasp and can't find anything, so they just poo-hoo it off.
And they don't want to be seen as crazy, so they, explain it. The human brain is good at that. Explain it away.
But I can tell you, it wasn't swamp gas.
Right.
And sometimes people that are afraid of things that they don't understand turn against it. When back in the day, when Philip Clash used to chase us around and try to debunk, which there's a difference between skepticism and being a debunker. I thought of myself as a skeptic because they just you're looking for the prosaic explanation, and most of the time you can find it, but sometimes you can't. And the debunkers they're trying to not only dismiss what you're saying, but dismiss you. And they do that because either they're being paid very well to do it, or they're afraid of something they don't understand or have no control over. Lots of people are afraid of things that they can't control. That's human nature,
Right. Yeah. So. Agree.
Right.
So
once we've all been through Ascension Con,
that's right.
We'll be more aware.
Exactly.
Well, that's because, Ascension Con, especially for me, is really a movement of remembering. It's designed to be a journey. It's like, it's literally a ladder of consciousness that everybody can climb at their own pace. They can move from curiosity to interdimensional truth. So anybody who's been feeling this kind of pull to discover who they truly are, it's a time to be at Charlton Park. So we've already talked about that level 1, where it's the speakers and how big of an impact they're going to make. If people are coming to Ascension Con because they're curious about ascension and their soul evolution and their soul growth, they want to take it to level 2, which is waking up the sleeping DNA. So once the spark's lit, sometimes it's not enough. And we have 97% junk DNA. And what Deb and I are going to do is we're going to work with the frequencies and singing bowls and our own energy to work with the people who come to the DNA activation to activate their DNA. And that, I think, is exciting to me because it can really be healing and life-changing.
Yeah, because it's all about frequencies. That's how you raise your vibrations. That's how you ascend and get to a higher level. And like you said, activate that DNA that's been asleep. 432 hertz, 528 hertz, and whatever, that's, you've all seen the machine that when you play a sound, it creates shapes, literally. And so that's what it's all about. I mean, our voice, sound, music, it creates reality. So,
yeah. And talking about the DNA activation, I'm super excited about that. Every time we do it, I swear, even though when we do it for others, I feel like we're doing it for ourselves again.
Mm-hmm.
And I always have great experiences with it. And so many people have come to us and said, that really altered my life. This is it. This is what I needed. The trailer for the Disclosure Days, or Disclosure Day, the movie, there's a part in there where someone is laying on the table with a alien hand or something, and they say the only way to know your purpose is to go back where it all began.
That's right.
So, it's funny how things that are meant to be on a universal level, these sayings just keep coming up. Have you noticed that, Mary?
Mhm.
Things about remembering,
All the
going
time.
back to the beginning, all of that, right down to the days a woman brought me in the bracelet. It's crazy, but that's how it works. When we were writing a book about the true meaning of death, which means there is no true death, it was kind of ironic. What year was that? 17, 18?
That was actually 18.
But it was funny because then we go to, after I think we might have already published it, but we go to a conference and Rosemary Ellen Guiley is talking about death. I mean, the same exact topic, a lot of the same wording. Josh Gates did a thing on his, I don't remember what show it was now, but about the same thing. There is no true death. So, it was one of those universal things where so many people were talking about it at that time because that was what we needed to know. That tells us we're way more than this physical body that happened to be born, in this body. We're soul. And we have to go back and remember that soul life and the soul purpose. Okay, I'll try to shut up for a moment.
I think that's what's perfect about DNA activation, because it's just a simple, easy, guided meditation that just gets you right into that perfect frequency of alignment. And all it's doing is taking all those pieces that you've lost from yourself, from trauma and pain and sadness, and bringing it back and integrating it so that you feel whole. Once we release the things that don't serve us, we're able to see with more clarity. And the DNA activation is just one step closer to, remembering who you are. There's so many different levels.
Right.
RJ, did you do the DNA activation?
Did I?
I don't think so.
Well, I read
You'd remember if you did.
I read
wouldn't
the
you?
work on it, and I read and I think I took the test. That
You might have,
I
yeah.
took the test, yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't actually go to the class.
So we need to,
There's a test.
fight bowls and
there's
it's not a test,
not
it's
a
a
test, but,
quiz.
yeah, quiz.
Just on yourself, your personality, things like that tell you, can help you to see maybe if you're a Arcturian or where you come from.
Pleiadian, bacteria,
Or mantis.
Or a mantis.
or mantis.
And
Where is my mantis anyway?
and many people are multiple.
Yeah, Deb too? Did you see the mantis we got her? Look at that.
I saw it on the internet. That's adorable.
He's so cute.
Did you name him?
What do you mean we got her?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Manny.
Manny. Oh, perfect.
Well, we both thought at the same time we got to get that.
I love it. I need something like that to commemorate the fact that I have a giant, 30-foot metal mantis in the middle of my town.
You
I
do,
apparently
and
live
he
in Mantisville.
has a little butt,
Yeah.
much like Mothman's
So
can.
cute. That's cute.
Those statues get a little racy.
Yeah, Manny looks really comfortable with you, Dana.
Yeah, I'm sure he looked comfortable by the toaster in my cabin too when I walked in.
You could probably get him a nice looking cloak or something to wear,
I need to get the little burlap dress that they wear. I don't know why I keep thinking it's burlap, but you know what I'm saying.
Well, it's funny, isn't it interesting that Dana always goes to the burlap dress? When I see them, they're in more of like a cloak or a robe.
Yeah, that's what I've always seen in
They're
drawings.
just being
from other people.
fancy with you.
They're just being bougie with us. They're feeling
I
hometown
get
girl
the
with you.
hillbilly ones. I just see this little burlap robe, sleeveless, just to cover up their bits.
That must
You
be
know,
what they knock around in on the ship when they're not messing with
Yeah.
humans or
Nobody
something.
gets formal with Dana.
Like me in my house coat and slippers, right?
There you go.
A toga, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's been hanging.
Yeah.
And he's posable.
That's cool.
His these. So he can like be lifting weights.
We need to get him some weights then.
I can't get over seeing her holding him.
I know. I love it.
I can't go anywhere with these people. Somebody finds me with a mantis.
But the next thing,
Not so far.
next
That's
thing I
more for the
know,
audience that's listening because Cobble is no better.
No, she
Since-
is.
I'm just further away, so I can never get to her.
the next thing I know, these guys are all wearing these shirts with mantis.
I wore mine yesterday.
Female mantis taking the male mantis's head
Girls will be girls.
off. Yeah.
That's what it says. We all had to buy one, didn't we?
Holding the
We
male.
did.
And, I got a couple looks at the Aldi when I went in.
Next thing you know, they'll be wearing Black Widow shirts.
I love all
Can't imagine why I'm single.
It's
Have to
good.
wonder why I'm still married.
I can't wait.
All right, Manny,
Oh, boy.
hang out over there.
So is
So-
is Manny coming to Ascension Con? Is he going to help
Probably.
you with your gallery?
No.
No.
Oh, he's gonna have to because that's the level 3 of Ascension at the Ascension Con is the gallery reading with Dana. That and for
Maybe
me-
Manny will do it and Dana will be on a mic in the background.
There you go. Dana here, you're such a master at opening the channels, between this world and the next world, whatever you call it could be different than what other people call it, but your vibration that you bring and the messages that you bring through from departed loved ones, and it's life-changing. It really does change the truth of somebody's existence. And that is truly the next level, I feel, of remembrance of what you do. It really is amazing.
I came
you
out
wanna-
that way.
Hey.
I did. I don't know any different. So,
Popped out on it.
well, and I don't know who I'm talking to sometimes either. You remember that? Where I think like the health stuff is not coming from me, from them. That's coming from them.
Ones
Them.
like Manny, because they are very wise and old.
But that's only been a realization I've made within the last like 3 or 4 years, because it doesn't feel the same as the other stuff does. So, yeah.
Well, you and Deb, you've done investigations. We had a lot of times when we've talked about this that what's coming through on our equipment, it's not ghosts. Maybe it's a higher dimensional extraterrestrials. And
But isn't
coming
it
through.
all like tied together? I think it's all
Yeah,
tied
it is.
together.
It
I
is.
think they're using the same mode of communication, but they're coming from different places.
Yeah.
I have recorded voices of people who did live here on this earth at one point, and their loved ones who we worked for recognized their voices immediately. So there's that. And then there's also times when I'm pretty sure what I'm talking to has never lived here and isn't dead. It's just, I think a lot of things out there in different places, but they somehow can utilize the same
Frequency.
the frequencies, the mode, that whatever it is they're using to get here or communicate with is the same thing.
I agree.
Sometimes you hear like a mechanical voice too.
Yes.
You ever heard that? Yeah. And
Yep.
then I always think, like in that movie Doom, where that they're holding up that device and they're talking
The translator.
translator, and it comes through mechanical, so that they're using something like that. That's why it sounds mechanical, but it comes through in our language.
Hmm.
Just
Mhm.
a thought. Yeah.
I think it's a lot of stuff all like that.
It's all about frequency. I
Mhm.
remember I'm not really big into paranormal investigating, but I believe it's called the REM pod, the one that has a little antenna and goes off when there's energy around it.
Yeah.
There was one time I was using that, and all it did was Morse code.
I've had it do the same thing. I actually recorded a REM pod the other day, and I'm going to have one of my ham radio buddies who knows Morse code see if they can pick something up. I used to know some of it. My late husband and my father were both ham radio operators, amateur radio operators, who both keyed and did Morse code. And I grew up with that hammered into my brain all night because Daddy would do it after the kids go to bed. And I swear that something is trying to communicate with that.
That
And
happens on our show.
I thought it was my late husband.
Yeah.
We just had that. I went to the Monroe house this last weekend, and one of our REM pods was doing that. And I'm like, that's
Wow.
Morse code, dude. I recorded it. I'm just trying to find one of my ham buddies to listen to it, see if they can decipher it into anything that makes any sense. Oh, yeah. I mean, whatever is out there, they'll by any means possible, whatever's the nearest and handiest, electronic devices or whatever,
Mhm.
they'll use if they think they can get through.
Right.
That's exciting to me, though, because I thought it was my late husband. It was the anniversary of his 82nd birthday the night we were there, and that's why when I heard the Morse code, I'm like, oh, it's KO, because he would do that.
Nice.
Probably was.
All right.
He's always
Especially if
protecting
you
me.
thought that right away. I just did a workshop about that.
So Dana, don't you help with investigations and things like that?
Yes, I work remotely with investigations too. So like I'll get phone calls from certain groups out there that will call me and basically not tell me where they are, but be like, what do you see?
Right.
And then they might give me a little bit more after that. It's kind of like how I do the missing persons things.
It's almost like remote viewing,
Same
right?
thing. It's remote viewing, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't have to get into like I've been looking, I know other remote viewers and, not to beat a dead horse, so to speak, but like a lot of them have to do the prep for it. They go into a meditative state. I
Right.
don't do that stuff. I just go in, and I don't know why I can do that.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Well, you're a medium and you've been practicing mediumship forever.
Forever.
I know for me and probably for Mary as well, it's automatic. Before a reading, I don't sit and try to go into a different brain wave
Mhm.
or
I think
anything.
some
It just happens.
are trained to do that as well, and I'm not sure if
Right.
that's part of like when people get certified as psychic medium or whatever. There's very specific parameters I know in the spiritualist church that does
Mhm.
things, and I love the spiritualist church. I'm not dissing them, but
Right.
I just think after a lifetime literally of this for me to try throwing more in there might throw me
Mhm.
off.
Right. Yeah.
But
I know I would not take training for myself on stuff like
it's I don't
because
know.
it happens.
If I
It
was
works.
25, it would be different, but I haven't been 25 in a few years.
We won't talk about that. Huh?
No. But I don't know. I appreciate everybody that does remote viewing, especially because I know people that have gone through extensive types of training for that, and that's commendable when you devote a lot of time and stuff to that. But that again, why did I know how to do that? I came out, okay. And I just went
Part of your
somewhere.
purpose.
I guess. So
Connecting.
it's interesting to me how that worked out for me particularly. But again, it doesn't make me better than other people. It just, I wonder why it is that way. And again, I think all of this is tied together. So like with the Ascension Con, the ladders you're talking about, like the different levels of things. And I think there's just a common denominator that runs through all of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it is to get people to ascend, because God knows we need it right now. It is the time. It is the time for disclosure in all facets of everything.
So is the way you do your remote viewing similar to the way you do your galleries?
Yeah. I know. I don't have like my galleries, like, a lot of people that do gallery, they're doing it specifically to contact the deceased or people that have passed. That's not how I work. I just go boom, just like when I read people, when I'm doing a one-on-one, I will look at somebody and I'm going to tell them what I see. It doesn't mean it's going to be somebody there shouldn't be an expectation that I'm going to get their ex-husband, or I'm going to get their daughter, or, I'm hoping I get that person for them if that's what comes through, but it might not be that at all.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can only say what I see because that is the truth that I'm receiving. I'm not going to make up something for someone to try to make it what they want it to be. I have to give them what I get. That's my responsibility. I take it very seriously. For as big of a goofball as I am when it comes to like what I do, I'm very serious. I try to be as ethical as humanly possible. So I'm never going to make up something. It's just like me. What you see is what you get. You put lipstick on a pig.
No, girl.
But underneath it.
No, you are like top of the line and like top of the class when it comes to mediumship. And like that's why you're such an important layer and level. And so Dana, she leads us to the level 4, and that's the universal connection, which is the CE5 experience. So as the sun sets over Hastings and everything starts to quiet down, the energy doesn't go away. It's just going to intensify, because this is where we're going to tune in, and we are going to tap in not only to the universal self, but the galactic self, right? And this is where we're going to offer the CE5 cosmic contact experience with Miss Deb 1.
So many dads.
Yeah,
So many dads.
And I'm super excited about that. It seems like over the years, different times we do it, like we were talking before the show, we did some CE5 work up in Curtis, Michigan with our Truth Seekers retreat. And it was so beautiful that the people that were meant to be there were there. It was like the energy was so perfect for that type of work, because we had sighting after sighting after sighting after sighting all weekend long, and it was phenomenal. So, CE5 is just mostly opening up, meditating to connect with all that there is, meditating with love in your heart and the willingness to meet them. So really what it is we're inviting them. We are purposely, trying to make contact. And I have no doubt in my mind that we are going to make some good contact at Ascension Con.
I feel like we're going to get people that, people. I'm going to say people that kind of show up that maybe aren't expected to show up.
Men in Black?
I don't know. I had a dream the other night that was pretty profound about it. They didn't look like Men in Black, but that I just feel like it's like, who are these people and do they have a ticket?
Well,
do they just kind of land over there and walk in, or what's going on?
You're probably right. Yeah.
This is what we've been talking about. So a couple of weeks ago, I was meditating and I felt a thump on my porch. And I was like, what the hell was that? And the answer I got was, it's the walkers. And I'm like, the walkers? And they said, it's like skinwalkers, but good energy. And so I reached out to Jen from She's Watchers, and she gave me, you're gonna be doing a walk, and they're going to be walking with you. But these walkers are going to be at Ascension Con, moving through the crowd to shift the energy and raise the vibration. So thank you, Dana. You just gave me chills, and I love you. You're my favorite for the whole rest of the show and the whole day. Just so you know.
That's yeah, I had that the other night, and I thought it's hard to explain what exactly I was seeing, but I knew it was there. Put it that way. And they like came in like people that you're not expecting, or somebody you're not expecting. That, like I said, like in your head, you might be like, did they buy a ticket? Like it would be like somebody walking in or trying to mingle through, or you just could tell they didn't fit. I don't know how to explain it. I had that. That was the dream I had.
That's cool.
I did not hear a thump. However, when you sleep next to this guy, anything is possible.
He's talking to you.
He's agreeing. People think I'm whacked. Playing with a toy. It's all right, Manny.
He's not a toy. He has feelings.
Well, as long as he keeps his feelings on that side of the bed, because I don't need this.
That's feelers. Yeah.
He's got feelers, all right.
I love it.
So maybe at the CE5, we can focus on making contact with the walkers as well. Just to see what it is, because I don't know. I just know what I was told, right? And then Dana's validating it. So we're going to have to be on the lookout.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have some kind of competition, maybe. Whoever can get a picture of a walker, the best picture will win a prize. Everybody can turn in.
Well, see. Now we have to do it.
Yeah.
We'll see what we can get.
Camera will be ready.
It'll be energy. Picture of energy.
Yeah, I definitely.
No, I just heard that in my ear.
It's all you heard it in your ear. It's going to be all energy.
It's a picture. You'd see energy. You wouldn't see like a person, or it would be.
Right.
I'm
like
excited.
Light of some description. That's
what a lot of people who do the CE5 around the world, they have amazing pictures of this. Just what are you talking about, Dana?
I don't even really know what CE5 is, so
Close Encounters with Fifth Kind.
I gotta figure that out when I go to this, because I've not ever experienced it.
But anyway, when they do the C5s, when they try to call them in and meditate and all that, people take pictures, and there's, like you said, there's these energy beings.
Man, I'm on fire today, man.
So
you're killing it.
Those vibrations. Yeah.
And they're really amazing. I mean,
that's cool. Very cool.
Yep. And like we said, close encounters of the fifth kind means that we are inviting them to make contact with us.
Okay, and then I'm going to sit by Deb Cobble for this, right?
Take her first.
I always have to sit by Deb Cobble.
You could sit in front of her, put Manny between you.
Like this?
There you go.
Or, I mean, behind her.
He's Brady bunching Deb Cobble right now.
It's a story.
Oh my God. I've been to a CE5 in Gulf Breeze, Florida back in the 90s, but we didn't call it that back then. We all sat kind of semicircled right on the beach till the water could hit our feet. And this was during the height of the Gulf Breeze UFO sightings, right? And
Oh,
Ed
yeah.
Walters was actually with us on the beach. That was the guy who kept seeing everything and photographing them. And while we were sitting on the beach, I don't know that we were intentionally calling them in. We were all just kind of meditating and trying to feel zen and quiet. And this blue ball of white light shoots in from out it's the Gulf or whatever, and shoots up towards us, like whizzes around the whole circle of people at our heads. A little ball is probably the size of like a ping pong ball, a blue light, whizzed around us and then shot back out over the Gulf. And I could feel it. It felt like static electricity as it swooped behind my head. And I believe that Bob Exler and some other people out there who were photographing and videotaping it caught that on video, but it's been 40 years ago, and I don't know where it is. So that was exciting that we were all out there and were able to have something like that manifest.
There's a lot of videos of people in the same area that had a lot of good experiences there. That's pretty amazing. Yeah.
For me, it was always the little blue balls of little blue lights, like bluish white balls of light, about the size of ping pong balls.
Yeah, interesting. Well, this work is not new. Dr. Stephen Greer did the documentary and named this and claimed it as, he organized a way to do this. But it's something that honestly has been being done. Like Deb, you did it 40 years ago.
Yeah.
We did it in different ways, but usually it was a meditating and connecting and just being open to.
They did it back in the 50s and early 60s.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Andrea Perrin, look at Andrea. She's been doing this for several years. And her thing is, she never calls it CE5. She sings them in. And the very first time we saw her do it was up at Michigan Paracon.
Me too.
Yep. You were there with us. I remember that, Dana. And it was incredible because, a lot of people followed her out to the parking lot, kind of giggling, going, oh, this is so crazy. But as she sang, you kept getting lights showing up in the sky.
The police department were pissed because they were getting so many calls.
Yeah, the UFO, that's when it was in the paper. I remember that very well.
The next day saying they have never had so many UFO calls ever in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. It was, it was crazy all night long with lights showing up. So, it's all about intent and the openness of the heart. And, when Andrea does her work, she has no doubt that they're going to show up. She's been doing this for years and they show up. So that's a lot of it. You just,
I know my first experience with Andrea. I didn't want to believe it.
Really?
And I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, shit.
That was a while ago. That was down in St. Augustine, Florida. I'll tell you about it sometime.
Okay.
Very profound. As is Andrea.
Yes. I had a beautiful talk with Andrea probably a couple hours yesterday.
Oh, good.
Yep.
Good.
I would love for her to be able to be at Ascension Con. She's focusing on her own healing right now.
Me too, because when you think about Ascension, that she is the pioneer. She's been talking about it for years. And yeah, she would have been she would have been the cherry on top, but she's got to take care of her health.
Because we need her at UFO Con too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And she's
all right, RJ.
promising.
Huh?
RJ, you're the last piece of my leveling up puzzle.
You're a piece, RJ.
You're a piece
of work.
Peace, all right.
Well, at Ascension Con, because we talked about all the layers and all the levels of Ascension that you can go through at Ascension Con. So level 5 is the ultimate experience, and that's the Bigfoot expedition. So that's going to be with Ronnie LeBlanc, RJ, the She Squatchers, and Jason Kenzie. And this isn't really a hunt in the traditional sense. This is an invitation to really step deep into the woods at night with some of the most respected researchers in the field. And it's the ultimate experience because Bigfoot is a bridge. These beings exist at the intersection of the physical and the interdimensional. And they're the guardians of the wilderness and the masters of the in-between. So when you stand in the darkness on a Bigfoot expedition and you're listening for the wood knocking or you're watching for a shimmering cloak, you are standing at the edge of an interdimensional reality. And that's why everything changes and everything shifts when you utilize this as your final level of your Ascension Con experience. So Mr. RJ, tell me some of the things you've got. You've told me a couple of the things that you have for your presentation, because you're going to be a speaker as well, and for the expedition, because I'm excited.
Yeah, well, the cryptid side of the paranormal is kind of I've heard people say, well, I believe in UFOs, I believe in ghosts, but I'm still on the fence about the cryptid side. Well, it's come a long way like everything else. And, there's just evidence after evidence coming out that's pretty amazing. And, I'm so excited to work with Ronnie and these Chief Watchers and Kinsey, because they're into the spiritual part of it, and which is coming out now that, like you said, these things are perhaps interdimensional and they have abilities that we don't know about. They're just not some missing link ape or whatever.
They know how to hide.
Yeah, they know how to hide, and some people have film of this. They're coming in out of a portal.
I believe that.
Yeah.
They're crossing in between.
Yeah. And so, I was talking to Ryan. I said, are we going to be able to do this on 10 acres? He said, oh, yeah, there's no problem. It's not about the acres. It's about, raising your vibrations and asking them to be there. So just like the CE5 work. So, yeah, we're excited. And this goes way back. I mean, to Native Americans and the stories about them. And I now believe that perhaps they were like us, humans, were part of the Anunnaki experiment. And that because I think they did a lot of DNA and genetic work on this planet. And so that's why I think they have much more abilities and a lot smarter than we know, because they are a mixture of some kind of a hybrid themselves. And I'm not the only one in this field, but that's kind of a new thing that's going on. But so we'll see. I mean, it's all coming out. They're a part of disclosure, just like the UFOs are, just like the ghost thing is part of disclosure. And we're finding out that our soul goes on and lives, right? And we can communicate with people beyond the grave, or not the grave, but just beyond. So I'm excited. Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's just part of the gig that we're trying to find out. It's part of disclosure.
Heck
So
yeah.
do you have anything special planned or?
Okay, so I'm bringing these footprints that I acquired. They're actual footprints, and you can see pine needles on them and everything like that.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm going to bring some equipment because the basic 101 Bigfoot hunting thing is, you have certain equipment like you do in paranormal investigations for ghosts and also UFOs. Because you have to get out in the field if you want to talk to them. But they'll let you know if they don't want you around. They'll throw rocks at you. They will. They create these vibrations with their voice. Their voice is so powerful that they can create. They can harm you actually if you're getting too close. But it also opens up portals. I think the sound they can create helps them come in and out of the dimensions. So
do you think that sound raises the vibration to open up?
I do. They have the incredible sound system built in them. And we've all heard the voices. And there was one tape that just came out, video in Ontario, this guy was actually working with them and friends with them, and he's got this recording of them talking, and his name was Doug, and in the recording you can hear it, "Love you, Doug." Yeah, and
Is
That's
that
pretty cool. Yeah. So yeah, we're it's the new kid on the block. I mean, in the way that people are starting to come, realize that it's part of the paranormal gig. That's all connected.
Mhm.
So I'm excited about it. I've got some pictures of some prints myself. I have some weird tree structures that I took a picture of it, and I can bring that and show people. I even showed Ronnie. He's like, "Oh my God, what the hell is that?" I mean, it was put together by someone. So yeah, we're excited. We're just going to talk about the one-on-one part of it, and because people are trying to get him interested in doing it.
Yeah. And I think you're right when you talk about, you guys are an important group because you all have spiritual gifts, whether they realize it or not. Because, talking to Jen and talking about the walkers and her giving me the explanation, Deb, I, and Jen, and a couple other people, Dana, we're probably going to round you up just to let you know. But we're going to do an opening ceremony, and it'll be one person generating the frequency in the middle and other people around, and we're just going to shoot that energy straight out across everywhere into the event, onto the land, to hopefully it just activate the shit out of it. That's what I'm saying. So that's
How exciting.
It is. The more I think about it, the more excited I get. And so I'm
Right.
probably going to drive Denny crazy when I go back into the house. Just saying.
I want to say that I think you were brilliant with the group that you got for the Bigfoot excursion. They're all fantastic. Ronnie, when we saw him on Expedition Bigfoot, we just loved Ronnie. And they did an episode where Maria went off to follow a light, and Ronnie said, I have to go over here and meditate. He was connecting through meditation. And I said, he's the one. He is perfect. So we ended up bringing him to UFO Con because he really does help bridge that link between the spiritual, supernatural, all of it. And he's incredible. And he and RJ have quite a magical bromance. That too. But they have a magical connection that you can just feel when you're around them. So,
and it's funny.
Bigfoot hunt with them.
Oh,
it's funny because I met him in Arkansas and sat next to him all weekend. Our book tables were right next to each other. So talk about synchronicity and serendipity. We talked all weekend long, and we discovered that we had mutual friends, and I found out he was going to be there. Greg has lost his mind. My BFF and partner in crime, who's coming up with me. He lost his mind when he found out Ronnie was going to be there. So I think he's planning on signing up for your event that you're going to have, RJ, with you guys out. Because Greg he started out encrypted in the paranormal years ago. So he's very well versed on Bigfoot stuff.
Nice.
So he's super, super excited to come up there and be a part of that. Nice. And but it's just weird that it's nothing happens per chance. I'm just saying everything for a reason.
And Jen has woke me up to a lot of things too. I mean, as far as that frequency and the voice thing, and that the elders saw her that they go right into the ground and pop up other places, and they have that ability. And and she has actually a picture of a portal remember that was shown there, and. So yeah, I'm excited because these people are spiritual about it, and also, there's the scientific part of it, but there's something going on that we need to learn. Something there. So,
like maybe we're all connected,
right?
I think so. Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know.
So-
Manny has spent most of this podcast like getting into it. Have you noticed that?
I
Trying to
have.
get into Cobble's box over here, but he figured out he can't get in there.
We need to do a Manny documentary. My daughter, hear me out. My daughter's boyfriend, he does documentaries. I bet he could so come and
I could make it super serious. Like,
yeah, and we can make a documentary of Manny's experience at Ascension Con.
That'd be so cool. Have a
That
voice,
would
That would be fun.
his voice coming out and talking about
I'm
everything.
writing that down.
Okay.
That's hilarious. We're doing
you're
it.
a fame hog. Fame hog, I said.
So if anybody is interested in getting tickets, the event itself is free to the public. The speakers are free to the public. The vendors are open to, charge what they like. But the DNA activation, the C5 is only donation. But Dana's and the Bigfoot hunt are extras, but they're worth it. They are the ultimate package to get the most out of this experience and help you to remember who you are on a soul level. So I hope everybody is intrigued enough to come check it out because it will be life changing. Do you have any Deb, before we go?
Do we have any what?
Do you guys have anything to add before we go?
I didn't hear what she said. Sorry.
I just can't wait to see you guys in person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
And I want everyone to realize this is a very intense, important event, but it's also going to be a lot of fun. And again, Mary says it's free to the public, so it's not going to hurt you. It's not going to. We're not asking for anything, just to come and feel that energy, and raise your vibrations and learn what it's all about.
And ask questions and talk to
Yeah,
people that are there.
Exactly,
There's
because we are ascending.
And just
We're
so
evolving.
everybody knows, this event is just a precursor to UFOCon, because that's the one where disclosure is actually going to happen, right? When's the UFOCon, Deb and RJ?
I think it's 24th,
25th
25th.
26th.
25th, 26th. You're right.
Don't ask us.
Deb
Yep.
knows.
Houghton Lake,
It's
Michigan.
my son's
Lakeside
birthday. That's
Resort.
why I know it.
She probably Googled it.
Yep. Tickets are on sale. You can log into or type in miufocon.com and go to our website, or look up Michigan UFO Contact 26 on Facebook.
Or just give us
That'll
a
take
call.
you to the
Yeah,
to the
just give us a
tickets.
call.
Contact us. We're everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah. Tickets are on sale and they're selling.
All right, well, that's all I have. So thanks for joining, and thanks to the
Thank you.
audience.
Good to see you all. Love you all.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.